Here we go. We are ready for HTML lesson number 3, web coding. All right, let's go. I'm going to go on Google Classroom. I'll just use period 2 as an example here, but it works the same for period 2 or period 6, either one. All right, so I'm going to classwork, and I'm on the Wednesday assignment right here. And you've got two things. One of the things is a help page, a guide to this assignment, which looks like this, and it has everything that I'm about to do in this movie is documented on this handout. And so if you need to pull up the handout and look at it for a few refreshers, it's on here for you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this handout in this movie. I'd rather go ahead and just show you what you need to do. So I'll go back over here. The other thing that's posted for you here is a link to some code. And here's the deal. If I click that link, let's start with that. I'll just click that link, and it may, well, it might not yet, but it might ask you to log into code.org. I don't know if it will do it right away, but it might in a minute. But anyway, look at this. This is a mess. This is a mess. This is bad. It's a document of it that has some stuff about the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But when you look at this, this is just this is a dumpster fire up here. You can't tell what's what. So here's what you're going to have to do. You don't really have to write the content of the page, but you're going to have to mark it up. You're going to have to put some tags in here, and I'll show you what we're going to add. Down here, way at the very bottom, there's a link that says View Code, and you're going to have to click on that. All right, so you go View Code, boom, click that. And then that's going to open it up, and that's where it might ask you to make sure you're logged into code.org, but it's going to open it up in the web lab on code.org. Now, let's take a look at this. Well, the next thing you're going to have to do before we start looking at the details here is that you'll have to remix this. Up at the top, you're going to have to click the remix button. Since I created the code, it doesn't automatically give you the rights to edit the code, and so what you have to do is come along here and click the remix button, and it's going to blink here for a minute, and it's over here on the title it says it's a remix of this HTML03 starter code. And so that's good. Now you can edit without any trouble. Okay, so you got to do the whole remix thing. Now, if we look over here at this part, I can't get this to highlight for some reason, but if we look over here at this part of it, it looks pretty good over in the code section where we write our code, right? This looks pretty organized. This looks okay. There's nothing wrong with the way this looks, really. But when you look over here on the right-hand side in the preview area, oh my goodness, it looks awful, and that's because it's not marked up. There's nothing in the code to make it, to make it be headings or paragraphs or anything. It's just not marked up at all. There are no tags in the text to get it organized and to give it some structure. Okay, well, so the first thing we're going to do is this. We're going to turn each day of the week into a paragraph. That's pretty easy. We did this in the previous lesson. Okay, so I'm going to click right on line 9 right there. I'm going to click right before Monday, and I'm going to put in bracket P bracket. That starts a paragraph. And then down here at the end of that, there's a couple of sentences there. It goes on, talks about Monday. You can read it if you want to. By the way, it's hilarious. Well, okay, you might not think it's hilarious, but anyway, at the end of that where it says Mondays should be reported for the way they treat us, really, we need to end that paragraph. So it's going to be bracket / P bracket. And if you look over on the right-hand side, this is already looking better. It's kind of breaking this stuff out and making this, the way it would be displayed on a web page is already looking more organized and looking much better. So I'm going to go here to Tuesday. I'll get right before the T in Tuesday in bracket P bracket. Let's start a paragraph. That's the same thing as we did in the previous lesson. Bracket P bracket starts a paragraph. And then if I go down here to where it says, at least it's not the smack you in the face thing that Monday is, and I'll go bracket / P bracket, and I'll close that paragraph, start and stop, begin and end. So I've ended the paragraph. And if I look over here on the right hand side, oh, this is getting so much better. And I might not do all 5 of them, but let's just look. If I go to Wednesday and I say, okay, all right, let's make Wednesday a paragraph here, and let's put in those tags that will start and stop the paragraph. You know what? We might as well. I mean, it's going to take like 2 seconds. Bracket P bracket. And then I go down here to the end of Thursday, bracket slash P bracket. And then Friday. Remember, it looks pretty good over on the right-hand side now, but to be a good coder, all of these should be marked as paragraphs. All right, so let's do that. Okay, cool. So there, I have, for the first thing I do is I mark all of these as paragraphs. All right. And over here on the right-hand side, it looks way better. Now it's something I can read and I can understand, and there's, breaks between the paragraphs. Okay, much better, much better. Now, the next thing that we're going to learn about or look at real quick is a simple one. It's called a line break. And here's what I'm going to do. And you'll do all 5 days of the week like this. I'm going to click here right after this colon on Monday. It's on line number 9 of the code. You can use the line numbers to help you a little bit. So on line number 9 of the code, I'm going to click right after that colon. It says Monday colon, and here's what I'm going to enter. I'm going to go bracket BR bracket like that. Now let's go over and look at the right-hand side over here and look what just happened. Oh, look, right after the colon, it broke that line of text. It pushed this next word down a line. And there's no like extra space in there. It just kind of broke down to the very next line of text right there. That's called a line break. The BR code is called a line break. And I want to show you something. I'm going to write this over here. When you do a BR tag, it means line break. And here's one way where it's different. You know how almost all of our tags have a partner, right? Like if you're doing a paragraph, you go bracket P bracket, and then sooner or later you're going to have to go bracket slash P bracket to stop the paragraph, right? Start, stop. Well, with this BR code right here, this BR tag, this line break tag, it doesn't have one of these like stop the break. It doesn't. There's no such thing as this. All right, there's no, no, you don't need one. It's a little bit different. The BR tag, the line break tag, works on its own, all by itself. Okay, so the idea here would be, let's do that on all of them. Oh man, I can't type. Wow, that's bad. All right, so I'm going to put a line break after Tuesday colon, and I'll go down here after Wednesday colon. I'm going to go bracket BR bracket. See, this is easy. I'm going to go down here after Thursday colon. I'm going to go bracket BR bracket. I'm going to go down here after Friday colon, and I'm going to go bracket BR bracket. And if we look over on the right-hand side, you'll see it's done it now on every, here's Monday, and then the description of Monday is down a line. And same thing is true on Tuesday and on Wednesday. It's a line break. It breaks the line, pushes everything down one line of text. Okay, now here's our next thing that we're going to do. And that's a job you have to do on this. All right, so our next thing is this. I'm going to click in here back on the code side. I'm going to click in here to line 10, and I'm going to add what's called a horizontal rule. If you want to, you could press enter a couple of times there to make a little extra space. That doesn't hurt anything if you do that. It's okay. So I'm going to get in there in that gap between Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to put in a tag that looks like this, bracket HR bracket. And if we go look over on the right-hand side at our preview, you see what it did. It put in a horizontal line that, and again, it's just a visual thing. It just makes it so it looks like it splits this and makes it really organized and really easy to read and really easy to understand. You got all the stuff about Monday, and then there's this line that goes across there. So let's pop those in. Let's do it on all of them, right? Let's go between Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's just bracket HR bracket. Cool. And let's go down here between Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll go bracket HR bracket, right? And we'll get down here between Thursday and Friday and go bracket HR bracket. And I guess after Friday, it would kind of be up to you. Do you want one after Friday? I'm going to put one in there. It's not like it's hard, right? Bracket HR bracket. And again, I'm going to hop over here to my little fake whiteboard, right? When you put in these bracket HR bracket, right, you put in that tag, it means horizontal rule is what it stands for, horizontal rule. And there is not a tag that looks like this. Nope, doesn't need one. This is another one of those tags that just kind of works on its own, right? Bracket HR bracket. You don't have to have a closing. No, don't do that. Okay. All right, so this looks so much better than it did when we started. Do you remember what it looked like when we started? My gosh, it was bad. Okay, Now, the only other thing that is required on this assignment is you've got to put in, like we did on the previous assignment, you've got to put in some bold, italic, and underline someplace. It doesn't have to be on every paragraph, but you have to code in some bold, italic, and underline somewhere in the document. Where you put it is up to you. Okay? So, for example, if I decide there's a sentence in here on Monday that says Monday. Then along comes Monday with all of its "you have to get out of bed" swagger and it's back to reality nonsense. All right, so let's say we maybe want to take this phrase right here where it says "you have to get out of bed." We want to make that italic. All right. Well, do you remember how to do this from the previous lesson? You get in there and you go bracket I bracket. That starts the italics. Now, italics and bold and underline, they do need partners. They're not like the BR and the HR. You got to have a partner there. So I'm going to get down here right after the word bed, and there's a quote, and I'll go bracket / I bracket, and that italicizes that little bit of text. And if we look over here on the right, you will see, yes, it surely did. It italicized that little bit of text. So, and again, you don't have to do a bold, italic, and underline in every paragraph. You just have to do bold, italic, and underline somewhere in the document. You have to have at least one example of each somewhere in the document. So like on non-day right here, I'll go bold. I'm going to make, on Tuesday, it says Tuesday is kind of a non-day. All right, so I'm going to make that bold. And if I were to go over and look at the paragraph about Tuesday, it says non-day right there, and it looks bold. Cool. And so let's underline something now real quick. On Wednesday, I'll go bracket U bracket down here. What day is it? What day is it? It's hump day. Right, remember the old commercial? All right. So I've put in my underline code right there. And if I go look over on the right-hand side, what day is it? What day is it? It's hump day. That's all underlined. Cool. So I've done it. I've done everything. You have to turn each day of the week into paragraphs. You have to do that. You have to add the break code, the line break code after each name of the day of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have to add in a break code, BR. Did that. Have to add in a horizontal rule between each day, and I even did one after Friday. So it's bracket HR bracket, did that. And then the other thing you have to do is someplace in here, put in some bold, some italic, and some underline, and where you put it and how many times you put it in there is up to you. When you're all done, you're going to come up here to the share button. You're going to click that link one time. You're going to copy that link. And then you're going to get back to Google Classroom and submit the link that you just copied. All right. You can email me with any questions that you might have about this assignment, but let's give this a shot. Off you go.